The current job market in 2025 is really bad. Let's talk about it.
The Great Resignation is over, and we are now in one of the most competitive job markets in history. I've been in recruiting for a decade, and I've literally never seen candidates struggle as much as they are in 2025. And I'm not talking about people who aren't qualified. I'm not talking about people who don't have experience. I'm talking about people who have worked at notable companies, who have done a lot and accomplished a lot. Even they are struggling. On the flip side, I'm talking to recruitment leaders, people who are working at these companies who are tasked with growing teams and filling positions. And one of the biggest complaints I'm hearing from talent leaders is they are getting way too many applications. For one job, they might get 500, 1,000, even 2,000 applications in less than a day.
2,000 job application less than a day. That is a lot of job application. I mean, it's understandable because everybody is needing a job right now, and everybody is looking for a job, and especially in the current job market, and it just make everybody's lives a little bit more difficult because we have to compete with one another just to get the same job at this same company. And yeah, this is really, really bad.
I'm hearing about people who have to go through 5, 6, 7, even 8 or 9 rounds of interviews. We're hearing about a lot more assessments. Those could be personality assessments, cognitive assessments, even take-home work that of course is unpaid. And companies seem to be dragging out the process. You see, in 2021, they were willing to go through a 1 to 2 week process because they knew people wouldn't wait around. But fast forward to 2025, we're hearing about processes that take 3 months, 4 months. I even heard about a 9-month process recently.
9-month process is a really long time. Personally, I would not go through with any of those company, especially company that require you to do a take-home unpaid assignment just to get hired. That is a red flag right there. Because you never know. You're probably going to spend so much time doing all the free work for them and never heard back from them. So personally, I would avoid those company and probably just look for a job elsewhere.
And another thing, because this gets me heated, unless you've been on a job search in the last 2 years, you do not know how bad it is out here. The job market is trash. Basura, it's been bad. I'm talking about applying to 20 jobs a day, reaching out to recruiters, doing this on LinkedIn, and hearing crickets. People are trying, people are not lazy. And then people who have a job give the most useless advice, like, why don't you tailor your resume to every single job? You don't think that I've done that? Unless your job is hiring and you have a referral, zip it.
Yeah, this is pretty much true. Personally, it took me about 4 to 5 months just to land my first job. And that was a little bit over 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure right now the job market is a lot worse than it used to be just a little bit over 2 years ago. Okay, let's read through some of the comment on this TikTok video. One comment say, I barely got a job today after 8 months of job searching. Wow. 8 months, that is crazy. Yeah, I believe her. Like I say, it took me about 4 to 5 months just to land my first job. So 8 months is pretty close. Sometimes it took some people over a year just to land their first job. It just depends on what industry are you trying to break into. So there's another comment with over 68,000 heart. It say, my parents keep telling me there's plenty of work everywhere. Where? Yeah, I really can't blame them. They did grew up in a different generation than us. They probably don't understand how hard it is right now for our generation to land a job, especially in the current job market. There are definitely plenty of jobs, but those jobs are ghost jobs where you just apply and just never hear back. You are really lucky if you even get a respond back with a rejection letter. So yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Gen Z is facing the worst unemployment rate in decades.
More often than not, it's literally just rejection, rejection, rejection. And it's always like the automated messages. I've only gotten like one where it's like, oh, you can do like a video interview, but that's like the first stage out of like 7 others. So no luck.
So as you can see, he is a civil engineer, and like he say, he's been getting rejection after rejection. You know, people like to say engineer is the most, secure job, and there's plenty of work for engineering out there because it will always be needed. That is true to an extent, but with the 2025 current job market, it seems like that's not the case. People have been struggling to find a job, and even engineers struggling to land their first job out of college. So that tell you a lot about the story with the current job market in 2025.
So is it just a feeling that there are no jobs out there, or is Gen Z actually facing an employment problem? According to StatsCan, Canadian graduates between the ages of 15 and 24 are facing the highest unemployment rate this country has seen since the mid-90s. In January 2023, the seasonal adjusted unemployment rate in this group was 10%. Just over 2 years later, it sits at 14.2%. In Quebec, unemployment is below the national average, but it's still creeping up.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. There's also an older generation of baby boomers who haven't left their jobs, but it's really the uncertainty in the market.
And when you add inflation, the trade war with the US, and AI, it's created this environment of volatility and uncertainty.
It really shouldn't be that way. Like you put 4 years into your education, you should be able to find at least like a good number of jobs within the field, but it's kind of limited. And so now the option is for a lot of students like me to do a master's or a PhD.
The feds recently announced 6,000 more jobs for youth to attempt to help alleviate the job crunch. Even then, many are losing hope.
It's a little defeating because, it takes time in developing your resume to make sure, you have stuff on it to stand out, to get that interview, to even, kind of get your foot in the door, get connections and stuff like that. So getting the rejection, in which usually comes in the form of an email, it is a little defeating because we put time and effort into it.
Yeah, rejection does hurt. But, at least you get a rejection. Some people don't even get a rejection letter at all. And again, college student, especially recent college student, is facing a difficult time right now, especially in the current job market. So yeah, college student right now, especially the recent graduate, probably facing a really difficult time right now to land their first job. Especially most of the job require a minimum of 2 years of experience, but it's one of those things. How do you get experience without getting the job to get the experience, right? They have to compete against their peers for the same job at the company that they are applying for. And every single year, there's just hundreds of thousands of students who graduate with a bachelor or a master. And there's not a lot of job out there that can accept everybody. So you have to be the best of the best just to land your first job. And yeah, I really do wish the recent graduate the best luck in their job searching, because I know it is difficult.
If you're struggling with the job market right now, just know that I literally was offered a job, signed a legal contract, was told to quit my current job, was meted and greeted by the whole team, gotten coffee, so excited to have you next week. And then on my last day of my 2 weeks notice for the job that they told me to quit, I was told that the company did not have the funds to bring on a new person and they were rescinding my offer.
So the situation that she's in right now is really bad. I do not wish this on anybody. She is currently without a job, and there's most likely still bills coming in that she needs to pay every single month. I just hope that she have some sort of emergency fund built up for her to use during this time, because it's going to be most likely that it's going to take her another 6 to 12 months to land a new job. That's why people typically recommend that you have a 6 to 12 months of emergency funds built up for this type of just situation, because it happen all the time. You never know. And yeah, I really wish her the best.